Greetings everyone, I am Eric Paulson with Your Essential Practice. For today's rune reading, we're getting into the Capricorn season. That is starting on Thursday, the same day as the winter solstice up here in the Northern Hemisphere. And it's also the same day as Yule, the Yule season, right? And the Southern Hemisphere, the same day as Litha, the midsummer. So let's get into it with today's rune reading. I have a lot of extra information to go over, and you can read that in the comments below. All right, how are we all feeling, everyone? Let's cleanse this space energetically with the singing bowl once again. And in the bowl, I have this $2 note representing uncommon abundance. Now, while we're cleansing this energetic space, we're giving gratitude for that uncommon abundance in our lives, simultaneously inviting more of that in. And who couldn't use a little more of that uncommon abundance in our lives, especially during this very festive season, this Yule season. So I invite you right now to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Don't force it, just let it go naturally like the waves of the ocean. In through the nose, out through the mouth. So we get ready for this Capricorn season starting on December 21st, the winter solstice, the half goat, half fish, the magician. Right on Yule season, right on the festive Yule, festive Litha. So, let me know in the comments below how you celebrate the Yule, how you celebrate this festive season, winter solstice. I'm curious. I'm looking to start a couple new traditions while we carry on through the spiritual development of life. In the past energies here, we have this rune of divine communication. This is Ansus. This is a godlike communication. This is divine downloads, prophetic dream work. A lot of us have been getting into our meditative practices and really getting into our intuition and listening to that. If that's you out there, let me know in the comments below, because that's very beautiful. That's very healthy. Right now, in the current energies, we have this rune of Isa. This is ice. This is standstill, stuck, frozen, rigidity, repeating some life lessons. Maybe this divine communication has led us to be a little more reflective and just really repeat and solidify what is going on in our lives and make sure that we're starting off this solstice in a very healthy way, right? A lot of us are celebrating the solar return when that does come about. So future energies are in this gambler's cup, of course, because it is in all how you handle this being stuck, frozen, and rigid type of feeling. Are you going to repeat life lessons? This is kind of like the universe kind of shrugging its shoulders at you, because really that divine communication, whether you listen to it or not, is up to you. This could also mean divine intervention. This could represent womb. This gambler's cup is called Pertho, is the name of the rune. It's also about initiation, friendly competition, board game. So you see on the rune where you're coming in knowing what your energy is, and you take all these twists and turns, and you're coming out in a different way. You're coming out changed. A lot like a pregnancy. We know how the conception happens, but as far as the duration of the pregnancy and how the outcome is, that really is up to you. Right? So, what is the best action taken for the best outcome? Right now, it's to be in our disciplines. This is the rune of justice. This is success. This is a beautiful rune, just to be in your self-sacrifice. Don't be over-giving, right? I know a lot of us in this season, we want to be more over-giving and generous toward others. But you know, you can spread some of that out throughout the year. We don't have to give because it's an occasion, because that's what everyone else is doing, right? You still need to be into that self-discipline. This rune is named Tiwaz. This is a rune that is the god Tyr's rune. So if you're into the Norse mythology, definitely look up what the god Tyr is for you and how you can relate with that and how you can instill that into your best practices for your best outcome. Now, this can be justice and self-sacrifice and success, but make sure that it's not turning you into a martyr. Make sure you're not overgiving and with those invisible strings. Are there invisible strings attached to what you're doing? I mean, you have to really make sure that you are communicating here, okay? Because your thoughts, feelings, and emotions are in addressing your needs. I like to call this rune Now This because it sounds so similar to its actual name, which is Novice. This is addressing your needs. This is constraints. This is delays. This is you're walking down the path and all of a sudden this branch might fall and block your path. And you have to address that need fully in order to move on. Now, whether you're addressing that in a healthy way or not will determine if you remain stuck. Are you going to remove this and continue down your path? Or are you going to just go up against this branch that's in your path and just remain stuck, frozen, and rigid? Are you going to listen to that divine communication? Are you going to get into your self-discipline in your practices? When are you going to actually instill those beliefs, those thoughts that you've been having, right? To get into those new practices, that Capricorn energy, use it to stay grounded in your practices and in yourself, right? So the thoughts, feelings, and emotions leading up to what could possibly go wrong. This is addressing needs. Now, this is very, very close to the Novice rune. This rune is called Awas. This is the yew branch, or the yew tree. It's spelled Y-E-W. It's what they made bows out of back in the days of these runes. Now, the yew branch is a very flexible branch. When we flex and we bend, we are doing that in a healthy way, and when we don't snap that branch, when we are flexing and doing this in a healthy way, we can move on and we can transmute this into what is called the sun rune, right? But if we do not do this appropriately, guess what rune that turns into? You see that, right? You see that this is what could be possibly happening. You can turn back into the ice rune, right? And remain stuck and frozen and rigid, just like this other rune here. So this yew branch is about endurance. Now, this is about addressing needs, and this is about endurance, and this is about self-discipline. So what sort of work are you needing to get into to instill these practices, to instill your beliefs, to live out your self-fulfilling prophecy, so to speak? Well, let's see what the best outcome could possibly be here. Look at this. You're going to be a light that lights others' paths. This is like that Pac-Man energy, that fire energy that wants to keep moving forward. This is the rune of the torch, of the fire, of light. This is Kenaz. Now, if there was a very good example of what to do with this, is leading by example will help you light the path for yourself and for others. There's a beautiful quote out there that says that when you work to light the path for others, you also light your own path. Now, when you are in your self-discipline and you are working on this, all this work right here, look, we have these needs, we have these endurances, we have this discipline work, and when we're leading by example, we're also not just lighting the path for ourselves, it goes back and lights the path for others as well. So when we're being the change that we want to see in the world, when we're instilling in those new practices, those traditions, the divine communication will definitely help illuminate this path forward for you. Now, this being across from each other, this gambler's cup and the rune of addressing needs, you only you know what those needs are, and those needs will come up as you address some needs. Other needs will come up when you are in this flexibility. You're wanting to maybe repeat old patterns here. But when you're in this discipline, the action taken for the best outcome, you're doing all of this in such a healthy way. What you risk losing here is your endurance. So definitely keep into your disciplines and addressing your needs, because you are lighting that path. You are a beautiful light unto the world, unto yourself, unto your family, and for others, everyone around you during this beautiful, beautiful Yule season and into this Capricorn season starting on December 21st. Now we're going to pull a couple cards for clarity here. These are oracle cards. These are the Soul's Journey cards, this deck, and these are messages straight from divine, straight from the universe, directly to your spirit, directly to your soul. So divine, what message of clarity do you have to offer for today's rune reading of the sun moving into Capricorn and this Yule season, this festive season? Are we into our sobriety? Are we into our being grounded? Are we into our discipline? Now that Capricorn energy will really help us focus on the discipline work, right? Beautiful. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this card. Let's see. This is a card of failure. This says, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So who's kicking yourselves in the butts? Who is feeling stuck and rigid? Is this F for failure right here? Or is this F for fantastic? Let's see. Let's read into this card a little bit more with the failure card. It's not all doom and gloom, I promise, people, because this card says that I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Life on Earth is full of experiences. It's our human brain that views the outcomes as good or bad. The soul simply views them as chances to grow. Learn to see the big picture of life instead of the minutiae. Right? The big picture in life instead of zooming in up close and hyper-focusing on the things you don't want, or hyper-focusing on issues and problems. Step back and take a look at the big picture, because a lot of these issues aren't as big as you imagine them. So maybe you're making mountains out of molehills. Maybe this is why Pertho is here. You need to address your needs one at a time. You step back and maybe look at the big picture here to see where those needs are, okay? Now, failure to accomplish these tasks is merely the opportunity to evolve. And the negative connotation of the word failure can prevent you from trying again. You must come to the realization that there is no judgment involved with your soul's lessons. Realize that what you view as a failure is just your soul telling you that there is another path. Embrace the maxim, when one door opens, when one door closes, another opens. Embrace that maxim, right? A maxim like a quote or a mantra. When one door closes, another opens, or one door opens, another closes. To create a beginning is to create an ending. Often where we start is at the end of something. So maybe there's some kind of a conclusion here going on in your life. Maybe you're using this energy in this Capricorn season to really start off those New Year's resolutions and actually stick with them this time, right? Now, studies show that a lot of our New Year's resolutions only last for about 3 days, maybe a week, right? How long are you going to be in that discipline for? Are you addressing those needs? Are you flexing with endurance? Are you lighting the path for yourself or for others? Are you listening to that divine download, right? It is a time for you to stop any negative emotional investment you have in the outcome. Revel in the knowingness that everything will reveal itself that is meant to you. In the knowingness, right? These divine downloads are in that intuition. Let's make this, instead of an I for ice, let's make it an I for intuition, right? Beautiful. No matter what, be true to your dream and the creative process. Now we're going to get some cards. A card of clarity from the fairies. So fairies, please give us a card of clarification for today's rune reading. What does the collective need to hear from you on this beautiful rune reading for the Yule, for the beginning of Capricorn season, the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, in the southern hemisphere, Litha? All right, let's see what is going on. Fairies, what message of clarity do you have to offer for today's rune reading? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Affirmations to lift up your thoughts and energy to attract what you desire. Use positive affirmations. And I like to add to that, because ask-firmations are a big thing. Now, use what works with you, use what resonates with you, right? And leave what does not. Don't say any judgment like, oh, this works for me, you need to do it this way. What works for you might not work for someone else. So get into what resonates for you and just stay in that discipline, right? Do your affirmations or your ask-firmations. Now, the ask-formation and the affirmations, okay, the difference between those is when we're doing an affirmation or an ask-formation, our subconscious is immediately challenged to prove that thought or to disprove that thought. The thought that you have right after that affirmation or that ask-formation is your part of your subconscious driving the challenge of this. So when you're in an ask-formation, why is my life so fantastic? Well, then your subconscious is trying to prove that to you, just why your life is so fantastic. When you're saying, my life is fantastic, your subconscious is going into that affirmation and saying, yes, okay, your life is fantastic, great. And that's that. Okay, it's going to seek to prove or disprove what you are saying. So be careful of those thoughts, because that is inner dialogue. Those are spells that you're casting on yourself, right? The affirmations are super powerful, y'all. So let's read about this card some more. Lecture over. Okay, just look for me in a TED Talk somewhere, right? To lift up your thoughts and energy and to attract what you desire, use positive affirmations, is what this card says. You drew this card because there's something you desire right now. You already know what this is. To increase the speed of your manifestation, it's important to lift up your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs to a higher level. Positive affirmations increase your self-confidence and faith, which are two essential and magical ingredients in manifestation. Make that part of your essential practice, right? This card is a message for you to say or read positive affirmations or ask-formations, and to boost your faith, optimism, and effectiveness in bringing about your desired results. Right? Don't focus on the failures, focus on the good. And the rest will all just fall off. These perceived failures, they are perceived by us as failures too. Someone else, that might actually be a success. There might be someone on the outside looking in saying, wow, they really have it good. When you yourself might be looking at this, hyper-focusing on it with that, oh, the energy wasn't specifically what I was hoping it would be, and therefore I perceive it as a failure. But really, that's a lesson for you to examine that and to get into this affirmation work some more, right? Additional meanings for this card are beginning each day with something beneficial, such as praying, meditating, reading from an uplifting book. A lot of monks, what they do is, first thing, they will meditate before they fill their day, fill their thoughts with tasks. They will sit there, they will lay in bed and gradually wake up. They will reflect on their sleep, they will meditate. All right, that is a very, very healthy practice. Next, an additional meaning for this card, a possibility is, as you stay positive, everything in your life becomes more positive. As you stay positive, everything around you becomes more positive. It's like attracts like, not opposites attract, right? It's like attracts like, okay? The outcome of the situation you're asking about is dependent on your optimism. Watch the words, what you say, and write to ensure they're positive and aligned with your desire. And I'll add and challenge you to also look into those thoughts, right? That self-talk. The affirmations are a form of self-talk, so are your thoughts, your daydreams. Man, your daydreams, right? That is self-talk too. When you're all full of pessimism or doubt, or just you want to say, no, I'm just a realist. Well, to what extent, right? Are you looking for some sort of positivity in it, or are you just in this ice room, stuck, rigid, frozen, and unwilling to be in your discipline? The choice is really up to you, my friends. Capricorn energy is really going to help you with this. And this is really the archetypal of the magician. That's what this really is going to be about. That very earth-like, very grounded, very healthy, and very methodical, right, approach to this Capricorn energy in the Yule season. Yes, we're still going to be able to have fun, right? Just read in the comments below. I do have a lot more extra information about this, but right now we're going to pull a chakra token to get into our meditation practices for this. Now, beautiful, beautiful. This is the crown chakra. This is for this divine downloads that you've been getting, right? So you can continue to work with these divine downloads, this insight, these intuition hits, right? This is a beautiful, beautiful chakra to work on, but this may also be a reminder to work on your first chakras, right? Your first foundational chakras, because you can really only work on this crown chakra when you have first opened your lower chakras and healed those or opened those. And you can't create a house by building the roof first and expecting it to hang in midair. No, you have to build the foundation, then build some, flooring and some walls, right? And then you can put the roof on the house, right? Now, the 963 hertz is the solfeggio frequency for the crown chakra. And it's the final chakra, and it's located above the head. If you're someone who has a blocked crown chakra, then you are cynical, closed-minded, and you are not willing to have worked through your first 6 chakras again, okay? Now, the crown chakra represents the higher state of consciousness and spiritual enlightenment. Opening this chakra takes a lot of spiritual and mental awareness. Those who have opened their crown chakra will be in and feel in bliss and in transcendence, right? Now, for this crown chakra, it's very simple mudra, where we're just opening up our prayer hands and making the triangle with our fingers and our thumbs. And we're spreading out the rest of the fingers, holding that above our head with 963 hertz playing. That's 963. The mantra for that is just silence. Now, when divine is talking to us, we don't want to be full of that extra noise. We want to receive that download. So create that channel, be that conduit of divine communication, light that path for others. Great rune reading, everyone. Just getting into the discipline, getting into the practice, right? That Capricorn energy will help out for that. Now look at your charts and find out how that affects you personally. You can go to like Google and you can search up my free astrology report or something like that, my free birth chart report. There are a lot of websites out there, right, that will help you with understanding that. Or you could always email me at youressentialpractice@gmail.com. I will be happy to assist. And also, you can message me there if you'd like a rune reading from yours truly. I assure you the rates are affordable. And it's a great gift this time of year, right? So, that 963 hertz solfeggio frequency, again, for that root chakra, this is the mudra. That's it. It's right above our heads like this. And we're silent as we listen to the 963 solfeggio frequency, and we're tuning in, we're downloading, we're getting those divine downloads still. We're in that discipline, we're in that practice. By now it should be a rhythm, right? We've been into that mental work as it's been described and prescribed to us quite a bit here recently. Just a lot of that meditation, a lot of the discipline, a lot of moving forward. However that means to you, what the first thought that came to your mind, like that new practice that you want to do, the new aspect of your business that you want to start, or that additional research that needs to be done. Right now is a great time to get into that. Now, I wish you all a blessed and abundant and joyous holiday season, Yule season, summer, Litha, if you're in the southern hemisphere, right? Midsummer for you, or the midwinter here up in the northern hemisphere. Namaste and have a blessed and abundant day.